doesn't really matter, and you want to improve the look of that property literally instantly, you need our Eveready solar pathway lights. Now, what we're doing now, let me just take a drink of water. All right, what we're doing today is we are doing an 8-pack. The 8-pack has always been the most popular because we used to do a 4-pack and a 6-pack. We've done a 10-pack, but everybody seems to gravitate towards the 8-pack because it's the perfect amount. And I'm not telling you can't buy 2 sets, but what we did today is we dropped the price 40% off. These are our best-in-class customer pick outdoor lights. And the reason I can say that is because of the construction of these lights, okay? These lights are stainless steel and glass. And I want you to see, I'm gonna take the lid off this guy right here, and I'm gonna pull him off like that. And I want you to hear this. Not just glass, really, really heavy duty glass. It's never gonna fade. It's not gonna haze over like the cheapo plastic ones, all right? Essentially, it's 4 pieces. You have the stake at the bottom, you have the stainless steel pole. All you do is put it like that. And then if you look here, I'll put my hand over it. That is the light that illuminates the diffuser at the bottom. So all I do is I take it and I spin it on, and it locks in. And when I hit it, you see how quickly it turns on. You are getting 8 of these. They come in stainless steel, which I have available, and you see those in the front. They also come in graphite, which is the black, and then they come in bronze, which is the other color. Let me get Tracy Kate out here. She's mocking me because I always screw up the colors. Hi, darling. How are you?
Happy Friday.
You know what? And we're indoors, honestly, for a reason, because it's sunny outside. We want to be able to show you these, but honestly, Tracy, there is no easier way to make your property look better, to make it look richer, to make it warmer and more inviting than just popping these things in the ground.
I know. I mean, look at this image here, right? This is incredible. This is, I mean, the same exact house. One has the lights, one does not. Which one are you going to want to claim as your own home, right? You're going to be so proud of ownership once you get these lights put out there. These are almost 2 feet tall. They're 6 inches wide. And it's all glass and metal construction, super high quality. And these are the only lights that we can claim that maintain 91% of brightness after 8 hours. We've measured that for you. So we want to make sure that we're giving you the brightest, best lights that we can. These are by Eveready. You know that brand. They're over 100 years old. They've created almost every battery in your home. Well, guess what? That is what is going to be the little engine that could in here.
That's the first battery ever.
The first
like
battery,
when you buy batteries, you're like, give me some. You don't even say, you say, give me.
Like when you were a kid, every battery was like Eveready.
And if you needed something, you'd say, put a couple of Evereadys in there. You wouldn't even say battery.
Right, exactly.
I know.
Exactly.
All right, so we are already very busy. My guess is that the bronze is going to be the one that goes first. That is the color that I have in my backyard. I redid my whole backyard. I got rid of that.
Oh, did you?
I had that giant banyan tree.
Okay.
I got rid of it.
Smart.
$10,000 later. Those poor guys were out there for 2 weeks trying to get the, what do you call it, the root out of that. It was awful, but now
you couldn't afford hardwire lights at that point.
I know, but it gave me so much more land and so much property, so I put more lights in. It's the easiest way you can change the look of your property, and if you're a renter, you can take them with you, right?
Yeah.
Remember, you're getting 8. And I love the pattern. And we're going to lower our lights in just to show you inside. But Tracy, it's got like a star pattern. It's like a burst of light.
It's a starburst pattern. You're able to place these a good 10 to 12 feet apart from each other because that light is so broad. It's about 21 feet of light that surround your light. So you are getting this beautiful illumination on your ground. It is elevating your whole landscaping. So maybe you have spent all this time with your grass and your plantings, and then the sun goes down and you're like, oh gosh, I wish people could appreciate all the hard work we've done. Well, now you can when you use the solar lights. And the best part is they're not hardwired. So you can pick these up and move them. So let's say you have some flowers in bloom in one part of your yard, and then a month later, it changes to the other side. You can pick these up, move them over. If you're entertaining, bring them in the backyard. This is a great pack. And they have a very large solar panel on top. In fact, half of the cap is solar panels. So to Tracy's point, you don't necessarily need to get 8 or 10 hours of sunlight.
Mine light up and I get about 4 to 5 every day, and they stay on. Well, they stay on till I wake up in the morning, which,
Yeah.
you know, sometimes is different times. But the nice thing is there's no babysitting, so you never have to dig a trench. You never have to wire. You don't need any electrical experience whatsoever. If you can take something and stick it in the ground, you can have beautiful lights. And when I drive into a neighborhood at night, I always notice the nighttime illumination of the houses in my neighborhood. And there's a couple of people that do nothing.
Yeah.
And every time I walk by their house, it's sad. It's like that house does not look lived in, and it
No.
obviously isn't, because a lot of people in my neighborhood are snowbirds, which means they just come, you know, for a few months a year, whatever it
Yeah.
is. And I'm like, but that's even more of a reason to have them, because you're not there. Now it looks like somebody is there.
Right. Actually, this sounds terrible. I always feel like it's a scary house if it's not lit up.
Yeah,
right.
haunted.
I'm like, what's going on there? Are they not nice people? They're not inviting.
Something
They're
bad
not
happened
warm.
to-
Something's
something
going
bad happened
on.
in
Yeah,
that
there's
house.
like a bad aura, right? So
Yeah.
light up your yard. This is the easiest, the simplest, and the most affordable way that you can do this. This is Eveready lights. 100. Oh, by the way, this is a 2-year warranty. The only place that you can get a 2-year warranty on
Right here.
solar lights
Yep.
is right here, HSN, and HSN is the only authorized retailer for Eveready lights.
Yeah, so you're not going to find these in your retail stores. And by the way, I'll tell you what you will find in your retail stores, which is really crappy outdoor lights. And what they do is when you think about it from a business perspective, I guess it's clever. They know you're going to have to buy them every year because they're made of plastic, which is why they're so cheap. The problem with plastic is it's not weather resistant. If it gets snow on it or if it gets hot and cold, they're going to crack. If you get sun on them, which they will get during the day, their lenses will fade and turn yellow. And now your lights aren't even lighting up anymore. These are glass. These are stainless steel. All right. The only thing that part of this that is a propylene material is the spike, and that's because it needs to be a little flexible to be able to put it into the ground. Other than that, these are going to last you, we say 2 years, these are going to last you year after year after year after year. And it's one and done. You can always buy more. Tracy had a wonderful Today's special about a month or so ago where you got 10, but it wasn't free shipping.
No.
We are doing the 8-pack with free shipping and handling, and we're giving you that same great price. So I want you to look at these two houses, all right? And, all right, so they're the same house. But the one on the left, that's the spooky house, right? That nobody lives in, looks empty. If I'm a bad guy, I'm like, hey, well, let's go see if there's a key under the mat. Now, the one on the right obviously looks like there's people home, or people that are home. And not only that, if you were trying to sell a house, which one would be more appealing to you? When I first moved to Arizona, I know you've heard this story 100 times, but I'm gonna tell it anyway. When I first moved to Arizona, it was the first time I ever built a house.
Yeah.
And the biggest thing I was excited about was lighting. I'm like, because I've always, when I was a kid, and people had money and I was, broke, I was in the restaurant business, and I was like, I'll never own a house. When I finally was able to do it, I remember going to neighborhoods, all the really nice houses were lit up.
Yeah.
Or they had lighting all in their yard, and I was like, look at how beautiful that is. It's a sense of pride, realistically, more than anything else. And if you don't care, don't buy them. But my house, I got lights everywhere. I just installed new lights in the front of the house because I redid the front after the flood. And I redid the back because I got rid of the banyan tree. And I'll tell you, when I sit out at night, glass of wine or morning with some coffee, or vice versa, whatever the day is like, I still get out there and I look at it and I'm like, it's so livable now.
It
is.
is,
And when I let
yes.
the dog out, she doesn't disappear into the darkness. I can see her out there.
Exactly, and you can see what else is out there at the same time. So look at the thickness of the quality of this glass. This is super high quality. I had these out during the hurricane, didn't bring them in. They were still lighting up my yard when I came home from the storm. What I loved is that they're solar, so I wasn't dependent on that electricity. All my other lights were off, but my solar lights were still on. So it just gave me that sense of security, that big, beautiful prism in there. That is what's going to create that big, beautiful starburst pattern. These are all smooth on the outside, sculpted on the inside, and this is that all-weather stake that you can see there. So if you live up north, you can put these in the ground as soon as it starts to frost and then leave them in. You don't have to take them out every year. You can enjoy these even in the snow. The snow will sparkle and look absolutely beautiful. And that huge crystalline solar panel on top, that's the same technology that they use for solar panels on top of big corporate buildings. So you know you're getting this really high quality light fixture that's going to add such curb appeal. And like I was saying, if you're thinking about putting your home on the market, if you're renting, this is the fastest, easiest way to turn that house into a home. Dinner.
That's the difference.
Yeah.
Listen, don't buy cheap. You know what? When you buy cheap, you know what that means? You're going to be buying again.
Right,
You'll
exactly.
be buying again and
year
again and
after
again
year. Yeah.
and again. And these are an instant transformation. And I don't care how old you are, you can always just walk outside and pop these in the ground. And
My
if you-
mother-in-law does it.
Hey, if you're in an apartment, you can put them in a pot.
Yeah,
I mean, you can put
they
them
look
anywhere.
great in pots, yeah.
All right, thank you, Tracy.
Thank you. I'll see you
Hey,
in a little
we have
bit.
Bench to Table.
We do.
Free shipping.
I know, I'm excited.
Sweet. All right, we are going to continue on, and one of the biggest jobs that we have at this time